fisherman was fished today, another man has gone out to sea. Another fisherman was lost today, life is moving on in Wendy. Another fisherman was fished today, another man has gone out to sea. Another fisherman was lost today, life is moving on in Wendy.
So that though 777 is a pretty large number, yet when you come to make of a tenth of it, you will then see, I say, that the 777th part of a farthing is a good deal less than 777 gold doubloons, and so I thought at the time. Why, blast your eyes, Bildad, said Peleg. Thou dost not want to swindle this young man. He must have more than that. 777th again, said Bildad, without lifting his eyes, and then went on mumbling. For where your treasure is, there will be your heart be also. I'm going to put him down for the 300th, said Peleg. Do you hear that, Bildad? The 300th lay, I say. Bildad laid down his book and, turning solemnly towards him, said, Captain Peleg, thou hast a generous heart, but thou must consider the duty thou owest to the other owners of this ship, widows and orphans, many of them, and that if we too abundantly reward the labors of this young man, we may be taking the bread from those widows and those orphans. The 777th lay, Captain Peleg. Thou, Bildad, roared Peleg, starting up and clattering about the cabin. Blast ye, Captain Bildad. If I had followed the advice in these matters, I would afore now had a conscience to lug about that would be heavy enough to founder the largest ship that ever sailed round Cape Horn. Captain Peleg, said Bildad steadily, thy conscience may be drawing 10 inches of water or 10 fathoms. I can't tell, but as thou art still an impenitent man, Captain Peleg, I greatly fear lest thy conscience be but a leaky one, and will in the end sink the founderings down to the fiery pit, Captain Peleg. Fiery pit, ye insult me, man. Past all natural bearings, ye insult me. It's an all-fired outrage to tell any human creature that he's bound to hell. Flukes and flames. Bildad say that again to me and start my soul boats, but I'll swallow a live goat with all his hairs and horns out. Out of the cabin, ye canting, drab-colored son of a wooden gun, a straight wake with ye. And he thundered out. This he made a rush at Bildad, but with a marvelous, oblique, sliding celerity. Bildad for that time eluded him. Alarmed at this terrible outburst between the two principal and responsible owners of the ship, and feeling half a mind to give up all idea of sailing in a vessel so questionably owned and temporarily commanded, I stepped aside from the door to give egress to Bildad, who, I made no doubt, was all eagerness to vanish from before the awakened wrath of Peleg. But to my astonishment, he sat down again on the transom very quietly, and seemed to have not the slightest intention of withdrawing. He seemed quite used to impenitent Peleg and his ways. As for Peleg, after letting off of his rage as he had, there seemed no more left in him, and he too sat down like a lamb, though he twitched a little as if still nervously agitated. Whew! He whistled at last. The squall's gone off to the leeward, I think. Bildad, thou used to be good at sharpening a lance. Mend that pen, will ye? My jackknife here needs the grindstone. That's he. Thank ye, Bildad. Now then, my young man, Ishmael's thy name, didn't ye say? Well then, go here, Ishmael, for the 300th lay. Captain Peleg, said I have a friend with me who wants a ship too. Shall I bring him down tomorrow? To be sure, said Peleg. Fetch him along and we'll look at him. What lay does he want? Groaned Bildad, glancing up from the book in which he had been burying himself. Oh, never ye thee mind about that, Bildad. Has he ever whaled it any? Turning to me. Killed more whales than I can count, Captain Peleg. We'll bring him along then. And after signing the papers, off I went. nothing doubting but that I had done a good morning's work, and that the Pequod was the identical ship that Yojo had provided to carry Queequeg and me round the Cape. But I had not yet proceeded far when I began to bethink me that the captain with whom I was to sail yet remained unseen by me, though indeed, in many cases, a whale ship will be completely fitted out and receive all her crew on board ere the captain makes himself visible by arriving to take command, for sometimes these voyages are so prolonged and the shore intervals at home so exceedingly brief that if the captain have a family or any absorbing concernment of that sort, he does not trouble himself much about his ship in port, but leaves her to the owners till all is ready for sea. However, it is always as well to have a look at him before irrevocably committing yourself into his hands. Turning back, I accosted Captain Peleg, inquiring where Captain Ahab was to be found. "And what dost thou want of Captain Ahab? It's all right enough, though art shipped." Yes, but I would like to see him." "But I don't think thou wilt be able to at present. I don't know exactly what's the matter with him, but he keeps close inside the house, sort of sick, and yet he don't look so. In fact, he ain't sick, but no, he isn't well either. Anyhow, young man, he won't always see me, so I don't suppose he will thee. He's a queer man, Captain Ahab, so some think, but a good one. Oh, thou'dst like him well enough, no fear. No fear. He's a grand, ungodly, godlike man, Captain Ahab. Doesn't speak much, but when he does speak, then you may well listen. Mark ye, be forewarned. Ahab's above the common. Ahab's been in colleges as well as among the cannibals. Been used to deeper wonders than the waves. Fixed his fiery lance in muddier, stranger foes than whales. His lance, aye, the keenest and the surest, and that out of all of our isle. Oh, he ain't Captain Bildad, no, and he ain't Captain Peleg. He's Ahab, boy, and Ahab of old, thou knowest, was a crowned king. And a very vile one. When the wicked king was slain, the dogs, did they not lick his blood? Come hither to me, hither, hither, said Peleg, with a significance in his eye that almost startled me. Look ye, lad, never say that on board the Pequod. Never say it anywhere. Captain Ahab did not name himself. 'Twas a foolish, ignorant whim of his crazy widowed mother, who died when he was only 12 months old. And yet the old squaw Tustig at Gayhead said that the name would somehow prove prophetic, and perhaps other fools like her may tell thee the same. I wish to warn thee, it's a lie. I know Captain Ahab well. I've sailed with him as mate years ago. I know what he is, a good man. Not a pious good man like Bildad, but a swearing good man, something like me, only there's a good deal more of him. Aye. I know that he was never very jolly, and I know that on passage home he was a little out of his mind for a spell, but it was the sharp-shooting pains in his bleeding stump that brought that about, as anyone might see. I know, too, that ever since he lost his leg last voyage by that accursed whale, he's been a kind of moody, desperate, and savage sometimes, but that will all pass off, and once for all, let me tell thee and assure thee, young man, it's better to sail with a moody good captain than a laughing bad one. So goodbye to thee, and wrong not Captain Ahab, because he happens to have a wicked name. Besides, my boy, he has a wife, not 3 voyages wedded, a sweet, resigned girl. Think of that. By that sweet girl, that old man has a child. Hold ye, then, there could be any utter hopeless harm in Ahab. No, my lad, stricken blasted if he be. Ahab has his humanities. As I walked away, I was full of thoughtfulness. What had been incidentally revealed to me of Captain Ahab filled me with a certain wild vagueness of painfulness concerning him. And somehow, at the same time, I felt a sympathy and a sorrow for him. But for I don't know what, unless it was the cruel loss of his leg. And yet I also felt a strange awe of him, but that sort of awe which I cannot at all describe was not exactly awe. I did not know what it was, but I felt it, and it did not disincline me towards him, though I felt impatience at what seemed like mystery in him, so imperfectly as he was known to me then. However, my thoughts were at length carried in other directions, so that for the present dark, Ahab slipped my mind.